Alright guys, game 2 coming at you, and we got some interesting picks coming out here. Get this overlay swapped over properly. I'm not quite sure how blue team's going to work out. They can snowball decently well if they get their Zed fed, but other than that, I feel like it's going to be a real struggle for them. We'll see how it goes through though. Their tank line can get enormous. I feel like that's going to be the key to their victory. Oh, it is a Monday. Huh. Yeah, I guess. No, I'll just mute my mic for loading screens. Alright, so Katarina going forward a little bit there, eats a Q from Zed, opts to ward this Dimple Brush and just walk away. Dark comes a Blade kind of just guarding this river, using himself as a living ward there to see if anyone decides to invade. Rook leaves the base a minute late, but that's okay I guess. Alright. So potentially red team could be invading this bottom red jungle and no one would know. No one would have a clue at all. Probably would have time to actually just take out the Krugs as well. DCB is being stood on. Ignite burned on Bud 7 already, really. DCB going deep, he wants to get value out of that summoner spell he just burned. Narcane actually gets taken low. Dark Crimson Blade now taken low. Headshot procced. It looks like they're not going to pick up this kill here. Rick is actually auto-attacking through, seeing if he can get enough damage down. Matt Hacks actually walks up, looking to see if he can pick up the kill. Flash through on and Ignite as well. Another passive proc from Nautilus. Can he actually pick up the kill here? The dots are ticking. I don't know if they can actually get the Hurricane though. Heal comes out, she gets taken super low and actually gets out with her life. Yeah, these are actually community games. And there used to be a huge amount of people on these things, but they kind of dwindled down. Alright. Top side of the map, Pac-Man actually taking a bit low while taking the red buff, but he should be okay to get out through the rest of the jungle here. Top side of the map, Ninebreaker actually goes deep on I'm Blue, getting a lot of damage through with that 3-talent strike. Looks like that I'm Blue is going to be in a little bit of a hard situation here. He does have minions stacking up his way. He should be able to sustain through with his passive though. Trapped in Life walking through, throwing that bouncing blade in just for the poke damage there. To see if he can get as many minions as possible here while not putting himself in too much of a dangerous situation. Ninebreaker goes deep once again, getting 2 auto attacks, 3 auto attacks through. Ignite goes down, he flashes forward for one more auto. Can he finish off the kill here? The trade actually doesn't go through. I'm Blue's potions keep him alive there and actually gets out with his life. Alright, so bot lane looks to be a Teemo Nautilus lane. It's an interesting combination. Toss this here. Too many swaps. There had to be a shorter distance from there. How do you join one of these stream games? All you have to do is go into your client, go into the LowElo chat room by going to the bottom right hand corner of the screen, clicking on the double bubble icon, click on the folder with the plus sign after that, and typing in LowElo into the text box that comes up. After this game finishes and I'm looking for more people to get into the next one, then you can actually just say in that chat room that you want to join into the game. I will look for brand new people for the night first, and I will go through and do one pass through on that list and get all the new people, and then I'll do a second pass for repeats. So if you're brand new on the night and you want to play, you're almost guaranteed a spot to get in. Alright. Rourke walking forward, trying to get this harass down. Snowball comes through from Sandman is the man. Hook comes out, snare in place on the Hurricane. A good Riptide actually slows her down quite a bit. Bud 7 doing decent damage though to Sandman is the man. Dark Crimson Blade actually goes in. He doesn't want this fight though. Auto attack will finish him up there. That's what I'm talking about. Bud 7 really knows what he's doing when it comes to 80 carrying on this bottom side of the map. Matt Hack's in the middle though, getting chased away from Pac-Man 777 and Trapped in Life. It looks like he's going to be able to shadow over the wall and get right out of there. Linebreaker up in the top lane. Did not take TP, and he's forced to kind of lane with I'm Blue for a bit. Actually, this wave is decently pushed. I know he's afraid of getting frozen on, but he needs to use this time period to get back to base and get some health and items. Because honestly, if Ein Blue decided to commit, there he goes actually. Ein Blue commits to the fight, doesn't actually get behind him and knock him back into his minions. When you get that snare down, you want to walk forward past them, and then use your smash, your arcane smash backwards. Push them away from their intended direction. Alright, good route. There we go. That's more like it. Now you can get a couple more auto attacks down on that and ends up picking up the kill there. Rourke actually just hooks directly into a Piltover Peacemaker. Trapped in Life shows up in the top lane, gets the they get the Vault Breaker onto I'm Blue. Good decimating smash to disengage that fight though. He's forced to burn his flash, but he doesn't lose a life, and that's all that matters. Alright, so bottom lane, this combination of Rourke and Dark Crimson Blade. They're actually managing to keep up in farm here. They're doing a decent job. They did get a gank, though. Dark Crimson Blade hooks in the Hurricane. Good damage coming out there. Blind actually lands onto Bud 7, but Bud 7 just has so much more damage than these other two up in the bottom side. Headshot goes through onto a Nautilus there. They do end up picking up that kill, but Bud 7 walks away with one. It looks like he might be able to pick up two here. Hook actually gets on the wall from what looked like max distance. Net forward from Bud 7. Headshot goes through. It's not enough damage to actually pick up the kill there, though. Trapped in Life taking significant poke from Matt Hacks in that mid lane, though. Now I'm Blue should be decently stabilized after picking up that second kill. First dive from Ninebreaker was a bit eager. Alright, a couple auto attacks through on I'm Blue. He's going to get his third hit healing coming through. Looks like I'm Blue's forced to walk out of that fight because there's too many minions. Decides to throw down the ulti in order to keep himself a little bit more safe, but now he won't have it for the next trade. He needs to really be dumping that that cooldown when he goes in for aggressive trades like this. Ninebreaker doing decent damage here. Arcane Smash goes through, Ignite comes down. It looks like Ninebreaker is going to be able to pick up that kill and put himself a little bit closer to coming back in this lane. Rourke taking a turret shot there. Bud 7 stays for this wave. Teemo comes in. He flashes forward and gets the blind and is able to pick up that kill. Nami tried to get the heal off, but it didn't actually proc in time, or just didn't heal him enough to keep him alive there. Unfortunate on their part, but good play on Dark Crimson Blade to recognize he had enough damage to pick up that kill. Bottom lane appears to be full of action here. Dark Crimson Blade going aggressive once again. Gets a little bit of damage down there, but not too much. He's opting to go Morello Namicon first, instead of anything like a Luden's Echo or a Leandria's Torment. Leandria's not quite super effective right now, but the Haunting Guys might be a good idea. Caitlyn now has a BF sword, so she is significantly more powerful than before. These headshots will do an enormous amount of damage. Rourke opting to actually get a Sapphire Crystal rather than going for a Health Crystal. I guess he's having trouble with mana? I don't think so. He's hanging back behind Teemo, trying to be very safe. Hook actually lands the Dream Hook there! And forces Caitlyn to net away. They actually win that trade substantially there, but Nami should be able to heal her up just fine. Alright. Tractor Camera really loves this bottom lane here. So much fighting going down, so much trading. Auto attack goes through on from Bud 7. Not too much damage comes out of that blind. Uh-oh, top side of the map, once again, I'm Blue and Ninebreaker going head-to-head. Ulti comes through on I'm Blue. He reduces that damage by a significant margin. He doesn't toss down the cooldown yet. It looks like Ninebreaker's going to be able to pick up the kill just fine. Bottom side of the map, Matt Hax is showing up, looking to potentially get the ulti down onto the Hurricane. He gets through. She actually flashes backwards, dodges some of the damage, heals self, and lives through it. Now trapped in life, is it going to be able to start this chain of resets maybe? Actually doesn't get close enough to get any of the damage down in time. Caitlyn takes a knee. This time it is enough damage with that BF sword, and red team comes out largely ahead in the bottom lane, getting 3 kills for 0. Alright, red team dancing around this dragon. Do they want to go ahead and take this out? The Hurricane finds a pink ward here. It looks like they're just going to take this crab out and maybe go for the dragon afterwards. They got decent healing. Their jungler's at a good amount of health. Their smite's not quite up yet, but that doesn't matter as much. I'm Blue once again gets caught out by Ninebreaker. He's just using these strong auto attacks to force him off of the minion wave and try to zone him out and prevent him from farming. But honestly, I'm Blue's doing an amazing job of keeping up despite getting killed twice in a row. Yeah, I'm Blue once again going in for this fight. He's got a set of Ninja Tab Eyes now, which is really helping him in these trades. Very, very strong pickup, along with that Catalyst to get him the additional mana regen and healing that he needs. Alright, so red team did manage to pick up that red buff. Red team sitting on a 1.5k gold lead over Blue. One dragon ahead, so they've got an alright margin, but the game is still very, very close. Definitely not in a position where you can say that the blue team is struggling quite yet. And that comes partly from this enormous lead that Zed has in the mid lane. 81 farm to 43, really crushing through on the CS when it comes to Matt Hax versus Trapped in Life. Ninebreaker showing up back in the top lane. He's just going to use his auto attacks to get these minions under tower. He's got a decent amount of AD, so it should be perfectly fine from the last hit these. He's trying to avoid some of the damage, some of the poke that he's taking from Maokai, but he shouldn't be too worried, I don't think. Bottom lane, Vi's looking for the gank. I don't think she'll be able to find anything, though, as blue team backs up in a timely manner. Mid lane, Trapped in Life, forced to shunpo away from Matt Hax for fear of getting jumped on and just slashed to death. Vi trying to find an ankle to burn this cooldown on this ulti, but really getting countered at every turn. I'm Blue doing decent damage to Ninebreaker here. And that's what he needs to be looking for. These short trades are exactly what he wants. With short trades while his cooldowns are up, Ninebreaker going super deep, Ignite gets popped, snared in place, flashes out away from the turret to keep his life. It's pretty fine there. The Hurricane missing a bubble on Teemo there, the intended target. Sandman is the man, looking for the kill on Unmaker, flash forward, absolute zero, and then a snowball to pick up the kill and grab that shutdown gold. He hasn't been able to get any ganks off on the map before that point. Ooh, ulti in the mid lane onto Matt Hax, from Matt Hax onto Trapped in Life. Looks like he's going to pick up the kill with the Death Mark. Alright, so at this point in the game, what needs to start happening is, since blue team is still behind in gold, their Zed needs to start roaming out of these, rolling out into these side lanes and getting the other sides pretty much fed. He's not going to find too much value in killing this Katarina over and over again, so what he wants to do is make sure that his side lanes are in a position where they can really stand on their own 2 feet very, very well, and start snowballing the advantages across the map. So he knows that he's got a really, really large gold lead in the middle just due to his farm. So if he sacrifices a bit of that, he can get greater advantages for the team just by roaming. Uh-oh, bottom side of the map looks like work gets taken very low. The Hurricane will burn down from the Ignite and Poison combo, though. Caitlyn did not have enough mana left to press that ace in the hole, unfortunately. Alright, once again, I'm Blue up in the top lane is getting a little bit greedy with his build. He's deciding to just go ahead and get the Rod of Ages as soon as possible, when he could have opted for a Righteous Glory and instead built himself a Frozen Heart to help combat this. But it looks like the additional AP is going to do a little bit of work here. Had he thrown down his ulti during that trade, he might have been able to pick himself up a kill. Unfortunately, he did not do that. Alright, Ninebreaker now getting his health back with every third hit. Getting 44 HP there. It's actually a lot. Is he maxing that? Yeah, he's maxing that second. He is level 10, so... Yeah, I'm Blue just needs to... Based on his Maokai play, what I can say right now is he just needs to get used to popping his ulti on every trade he goes in for. It's not an emergency thing. It's a guarantee that you're going to win a trade. Think of it like that. You know, I'm going in for a trade. Let me toss up my trade guarantee. Take it down when the trade is done. And you always want to go in for the short trades as well. Right here, throw down the ulti. There we go. Auto attacks come through to try to take him out. You bring down the ulti and last hit him one time. There you go. Alright. Top lane red turret actually goes down before blue side turret. Once again, just want to point your attention to that minion differential there. Barely any different beside the fact that Ninebreaker had managed to come back in that kill score just a second ago. Pac-Man 777 looking for the gank in the mid lane. Actually, Sandman is the man. Could have tossed out a snowball there and started doing damage to Pac-Man 7, considering how much damage his snowball can do, and the fact that he's going AP. And then Matt Hax could have come back and cleaned up that kill. He opted not to do it, but it was definitely an option. Hook actually goes wide on the Hurricane. Bubble actually misses on her as well. Pac-Man 777 looking to get the kill onto the Dark Crimson Blade. Can't quite get there in time though. Hurricane forced to flash out, taking that ulti with her. Pac-Man forced to walk away as well. Assault and Battery just never gets burned there. Trapped in Life tries to follow Matt Hax down into the bottom lane, but it actually gets taken very low here. The pop from the Deathmark will not kill, but it looks like I Am Blue's going to help pick up that kill there. And now Blue might be in a position where they might be able to get this dragon here. The support for bottom lane has been chunked low. Red side mid laner is completely off the map, so it looks like this is just going to be a free dragon pretty much for Blue team. Top side of the map, looks like Ninebreaker managed to take that top outer turret in response. So they are going to be able to bring back that gold lead. Just a bit there. Rourke walking forward, looking for some damage on Bud 7. But honestly, Bud 7's doing a great job of just landing these autos on him. Blind goes through, good bubble comes down from the Hurricane, and that might be a kill rate that we're looking at right here. Mushroom gets popped, Rourke walks backwards to block the bullet and dies for it. Had he had his shield up, he might have been able to live through that, but apparently it was not quite there. Ninebreaker shows up in the mid lane. Matt Hax does not have any escapes left, and he's just going to get burned down. He did have Flash, but I think he knew that he wasn't going to get away no matter what there. Shrooms get blown there. It looks like Sandman is the man, walks behind this fight there. Bud 7 gets blinded out. Doesn't quite have poison on them, though. Might have to leave the Hurricane to die, but they actually hit yet another Shroom and go down. This Teemo with cooldown reduction is getting Shrooms placed up everywhere. That charge is always up and ready to be tossed down. Alright. Crimson Blade now in control of the lane here. Pac-Man 777 maybe looking to get into a fight here, but can't quite find an angle. No Assault and Battery available to really close that gap guaranteed. Top lane, I'm Blue shows up onto Ninebreaker. He starts going in and getting this fight down. Ignite gets thrown, and that's the signal to get out of there if you can. 3-Talon Strike isn't quite up yet. He actually gets the pop-up off of the flash on I'm Blue. Good slow from that actual sapling is going to guarantee that he gets out with his life. He needs to be very careful. Honestly, he can't get anywhere near this mini-wave. He just needs to base and meet back up at that inner turret. Sandman is the man, and Matt Hax find Pac-Man 777. He tries to flash away, but Deathmark is going to be too much damage. Blue team find themselves yet another kill over near the bottom side of the map. Rook tries to get the angle on Bud 7. Sandman is the man, is taking a large amount of time to actually join this fight. He actually is trying to figure out if he wants to go in or not. He ends up just not going at all. And Rook gets taken very low, pretty much by himself because of the indecision of Sandman. Had Sandman just blood boiled him and walked behind him directly, they could have caught that Caitlyn fairly easily. Alright, blind comes out from Teemo from the brush. Bud 7 is chunked to about half HP, so Teemo is getting very strong already. Once again, another blind goes through onto Bud 7. Ignite comes down, but Katarina is there to exchange the kills. Matt Hax arrives in the lane as well. He decides to not go in because he doesn't have Deathmark quite up yet, so he's not, super confident in his ability to outplay the potential CC that's there between the Nami, with the Nami. So he just opts to play it safe, help push this wave, and maybe get some damage down on this turret. Trap gets stepped on just to clear it out there, and it looks like blue team might be able to knock this over. Once again, another turret destroyed by Ninebreaker. He's up to 2 this match. Red team ahead in the turret count by 1. I'm sorry, behind in the turret count by 1. I'm looking at the wrong side here. And it looks like they're going to try to even that up by going for this mid lane turret. Ninebreaker just doing a fantastic job of just getting a lot of damage down on this tower. Dark Crimson Blade walks up and hits him for a little bit, but it's not too much. Blind wears out and he decides to turn on him. He throws down the Shroom. Second blind comes up because of the cooldown reduction. Snowball for the kill. Coming out, Sandman is the man. Snowball might be able to kill this Nami as well. Absolute Zero goes down. Does a little bit of damage, but not enough to really secure the kill there. Now with that Katarina in position, had he blood boiled himself, he might have actually gotten the kill there because the additional movement speed would have caused Nami to be in the Absolute Zero because he would have walked closer to her while he was throwing that down. Before throwing that down, sorry. Absolute Zero damage ramps up quite quickly. Trapped in Life actually gets hooked in by Rook there. A good snare in place. Ignite goes down and he just kind of shunpos away. I'm not sure if the Ignite pop there was necessary, but he did end up burning it. But 7 tries to show up and actually defend this tower. A good headshot crit goes down onto Mad Hacks to dissuade the push. Good knock up from the Nami wave is going to put Sandman as the man in a bit of trouble. Vault Breaker into a dash from Ninebreaker is going to actually end his life. Flash forward and Bubble from the Hurricane locks up Rook for a brief moment, but he actually flashes out. Throws down the Nautilus ulti to get the knock up there. Dark Crimson Blade pops out of the brush and actually picks up a kill. Ninebreaker totally with blood in his, blood in his eyes, just trying to go ahead and get this Teemo taken off the map, but can't quite find it. I'm Blue is now in the middle of the fight, hoping to get Pac-Man 7 taken out. Ulti gets taken down. They actually pick up the kill on their Teemo. Trapped in Life tries to shunpo to a ward, but isn't quite quick enough on it. I think he might have lagged or something there. Ends up shunpoing backwards to it and dying. All right. So I'm Blue pushes up in the top lane here. He's got match resistant set of armor, so Ninebreaker's going to be able to do some real good damage to him. He actually walks back in thinking he might be able to do a little bit of something, but unfortunately it's just not enough, and he gets taken out. Blue team ends up picking up their second dragon of the game while that fight's going on top. Looks like Hook actually goes down onto Pac-Man 777. Rook is actually all alone here. He's quite tanky. Is he going to get a Void Staff? Actually, no. It looks like he's going for an Abyss or a Rod of Ages, maybe. Red team now in position to potentially look for a fight. Rook actually looking for the snare there, but no one's with him once again. Blue team just doesn't want to really look for too many fights at the moment up here. As Ninebreaker gets chunked out quite a bit. Good ulti before the flash goes down on a Matt Hacks. Oh my goodness, the Ignite might actually kill him here. Gets taken low and he actually gets taken out by that high damage Ignite. Does a bit more damage than he expected because he's been on top and he's one level higher. Alright, heal comes through, does a bit of damage to Dark Crimson Blade before he can get out. Snared on Trapped in Life. Good double bubble from the Nami once again. Knock up back on Trapped in Life. It looks like this fight is going way along here. Iron Blue shows up. Had he had a Righteous Glory here, he'd be able to catch up a bit easier and help his team catch up as well. Hook actually lands onto the Hurricane and then they blow her up. Alright, so Blue team now with a victory on that team fight in total. Matt Hack's actually still dead from that previous fight up at the top lane where he got burned down by Ignite, I think. Rewind real quick, make sure I'm not wrong on that. Yeah, he was just down for a long time. Alright. So Blue in a position now where they have a decent amount of damage on their team up, so he can get around the map, get these shrooms down, and really cause havoc just by his innate map pressure that he can have. But he's easily kind of focused by Vi and Xin Zhao. He can only blind one of them at a time. And it's difficult to peel those guys with the comp that they've got going on. Nautilus can do a decent job, but Vi's got a guaranteed in right here. It'd be nice if they had a Janna or something. Top side of the map, Iron Blue is fighting against Ninebreaker. Ninebreaker just not doing the amount of damage he'd want here. Iron Blue is getting low on mana though. He can't afford to keep this ulti up that much longer. Looks like Matt Hax is just going to come in and get his revengeance. Take out that kill. Alright. Blue team in a decent position here. Matt Hax is starting running to the side lanes. He's super large right at the moment. Rick once again finds another snare with no one around him. Red team assumes that he's got to have backup, but they don't go for any sort of fight. Just have to back off there. Play it safe. Caitlyn with the Runon's Hurricane build, trying to proc that headshot as often as possible. Now that it penetrates through armor, I think 50% bonus armor, something like that. I guess it's a little bit more advantageous to try to get that rolling through. Rick finds a hook on Pac-Man 777, but he's quite tanky. Ignite gets thrown down. They do blind him. Caitlyn can't quite find an angle into this fight. Anywhere she walked there would be just dangerous. Red team is able to disengage that one just fine, just because of how tanky Pac-Man is. Blue team looking for these picks in the jungle. It feels like the only way that they're going to get through this game, or the only option that they're choosing to go for here. They actually have a good amount of Baron damage, considering that Teemo's got a Leandrius, Nunu has Leandrius, and he's got Consume. Hook on Trapped in Life takes him very, very low here. Pac-Man in the middle of the fight, he's super tanky, so he's able to get through a lot of this damage. He's not getting enough support, though. Bud7's doing what he can with that Runon's Hurricane, really kind of getting a bunch of AoE damage, but the single target is very, very weak at the moment. Bud7 gets taken a bit low from a hook and some other damage there. Trapped in Life looking for some reset potential, trying to walk forward and get there, can't quite find it. Caitlyn takes a knee, it is enough damage to take out Maokai on the back end of the fight there. Teemo gets forward and actually looks for another kill. This does end up killing him. Oh my goodness, that poison duration is so long. Dear God. 4 seconds of poison is so long. I remember when singed poison used to be something like that, and they reduced it. Just because it's hard to tell when you're gonna live. Sort of gauge when you're gonna live when the poison gets too long. Alright. Blue team picks up yet another dragon. Third one's going to give them that movement speed buff. Rourke on the front end of the fight, never afraid to look for these hooks. Actually, Cleanse comes through, or a QSS gets popped by Caitlyn, trying to get away here. Bubble actually goes down on Sandman is the man. Rourke is the first to fall in the fight. Bud7 actually picking up Nunu next. There's just not enough damage coming out of this back line in order to get these fights pushed through cleanly. Good thing about this Runon's Hurricane is that Caitlyn's able to heal up to almost full pretty quickly. Ulti comes through on Zed, getting into Bud7 there. It looks like Exhaust is going to get tossed down, but he's still going to pick up a triple kill on the back end of the fight because everyone around him was pretty low, and the QSS had already been burned previously on just a Nautilus hook instead of that ulti. Really need to be careful of how you're using that QSS. It's I think the only thing in the game that's going to be able to remove that, or one of the only things in the game that's going to be able to remove that death mark from you. I think he might have done enough damage to get the pop, or to kill her before the pop, though. I think she was just barely off my screen. Alright. So, Blue team still in a commanding position here. They're up 2 turrets on red team. They've got decent vision spread across the bottom end of the map utilizing shrooms and wards. They can take the Baron at pretty much any time. They have a huge amount of percentage damage to help them knock that over. Blue buff now passed over to Zed. Right. Timo looks like he wants to try to get some damage down on this Vi while she's taking a blue buff here. Does a little bit of damage, but not too much. Bud7 finds himself walking over a shroom while he tries to enter this fight. Dark Crimson Blade actually snipes it away with a blinding dart. His AP is decently high right now. Luden's Echo is getting charged quite rapidly as he walks around the map. Do you guys save your streams so we can watch them later? Or are there like VODs of these? Yes, there are. You can either go to the bottom of the Twitch page, where you see Zillion's face, and you can go. That'll link you to our YouTube. Give us a subscribe there. I usually have the previous night's set of videos up by mid-afternoon. Speaking of which, we got a fight in the jungle here. Rourke has already fallen. I'm blue next to fall, so red doing a great job of just grouping up and making sure they take advantage of these times where blue is not quite all together. Top side of the map, though, it looks like Matt Hax has gotten himself an inhibitor turret opened up, and that'll be a point of contention for the rest of the team here. If they can group up there and force that position, Timo can put up a decent retreat defense with some mushrooms. He's got the cooldown reduction to do so, and it would be pretty safe for them. Bud7 looking to get a Bloodthirster after getting that Runon's Hurricane. He's got these divers, or just the one diver really, Zed, who keeps jumping on him, and he wants to put him in a position where he could potentially heal and QSS through that. If he can get the QSS death mark off of him, then he can definitely heal through the rest, I think, if he nets properly. A real mechanics battle for him, but I think he's got the potential to do it. His headshot crits are doing so much. You saw there his headshot critting for 1200 damage. And remember, that penetrates 50% bonus armor. Dark Crimson Blade gets hit with the ultimate out of Caitlyn there. Gets chunked decently low from it as well. Caitlyn walks over a shroom. Also gets chunked down. They've got to be really careful because these Luden's Echo pops on these shrooms are really destroying their health bars. even with the magic resist. Good bubble out of Nami, actually gets Iron Blue stuck in place for a bit. Vault Breaker goes through from Pac-Man to get some additional damage down, but the snowball out of Nunu is going to force them to walk away. Top side of the map, Ninebreaker goes 1v1 against Mad Hacks. Will pick up the kill, but he's going to die to the death mark as well. Pac-Man on the bottom side of the map needs to engage this fight because there's no more threat on their AD carry, and this is a perfect time for them to actually get a good fight where they can keep Bud 7 safe and have him dump out as much damage as possible. Good poke comes through. They don't have their Vi there though. Vi opting to go top lane and clear that wave rather than sticking with the team. A safer play option, but valid. Now the one thing that this Runon's Hurricane is really doing for Bud 7 is allowing him to soak up an enormous amount of CS on the map. You'll notice that at 35 minutes he's sitting at 294 farm. Uh-oh, Pac-Man dives into the fight here, seeing if he could steal away this wolf, but he might just be in a tough spot. Bud 7 forced the net away because of that mushroom. Dark Crimson Blade ends up picking up the kill there as well. Pac-Man 777 gets out with his life. Mid lane, Ninebreaker takes on Dark Crimson Blade 1v1. Caitlyn ultimate comes through and picks up the kill. Ninebreaker needs to keep autoing here in order to stay alive, and he will be just fine. Alright, Dragon number 4 coming out for Blue Team. Red really needs to start getting control over the rest of the map. Otherwise, 5th Dragon might be just the thing that Blue needs to close the game. Alright. A couple wards getting cleared out here by Red Team. Rourke always on the front of the fight here. He's always looking for these hooks. Like I said previously, even sometimes when his team's not grouped, he wants to be threatening and really look for these fights. I'm Blue in the top lane, gets a bit caught out by Ninebreaker and Pac-Man 777. Looks like we're going to knock him over decently easily. Bottom lane forced to back away from this turret and try not to engage a 3v3 fight. Just because these tanks and Mad Hacks is so big right now, they can't afford to go in on it. Sandman as the man takes a little bit of turret laser for his troubles. Not enough to cause him to worry though. Hi there, 12. What's up, man? Alright, Dark Crimson Blade on the top side of the map. Red Team kind of looking to see if they can get a pick. They won't find it though, getting stopped by that wave of minions. Dark Crimson Blade finds a pink ward in this brush here. Just gonna go ahead and pick it up. Red Team once again just clearing out these wards. Once again, this is one of those games where honestly Blue Team has the opportunity at any point in time to set up a bait at Baron. And you might say, Stretch, that's not the team that you want to have to bait at Baron. There's no big wombo combo. You don't need to have a big wombo combo with this comp, honestly. Like since Teemo's as big as he is and he has as much cooldown reduction as he does, if he just leaves shrooms everywhere on the way to the Baron and spaces so the dot keeps ticking the entire way there, which he can do pretty quickly considering you watch his ultimate cooldown. It comes up very quickly. If he sets up that minefield, they can pretty much take Baron for free. Alright. Mad Hacks getting in a fight here up in the top side of the map. Gets taken out, finally. Actually, no, doesn't get taken out. Teemo's the one to get taken out. Hax ends up getting away with his life after a shroom saves him there. Alright, Hurricane trying to get out of this fight here. Heal out of Bud 7, keeps her alive just a bit longer. Net backwards. Rook's going to get taken low. I'm Blue walks forward into the Caitlyn, but he's so tanky he can't get any damage down on her. Bud 7 is just... cannot penetrate that armor. He is stacked into the ceiling, and Bud 7 does not have the penetration he needs to even scratch this tree. Oh my goodness. Alright. 7 actually undoing his purchase of Static Shiv. He might be looking for a PD. But Hurricane Static Shiv doesn't do a bad job at stacking up that passive. Blue team now opting to go for this Baron. They're going to put that percent damage that they have to work here and knock this over pretty quickly, honestly, with just the 3 of these guys. There it is. They honestly could have done that 15 minutes ago, but, you know, I'm not going to judge. Ulti comes through onto Teemo, but they're going to look. It looks like they're going to go through with a 1v1 here. Pac-Man 777 getting taken very low by Dark Crimson Blade. The poison might be enough to tick through. Sapling gets tossed over the wall. Mad Hax is going to be the one to actually pick up the kill here. Bud 7 looking to potentially defend this turret. Can't quite do it though because Blue team's front line is just way too tanky at the moment. Caitlyn trying to get these auto attacks through and get some wave clear down and try to defend these towers. Ulti comes through from Nautilus on the back side of the fight. Trapped in Life gets a good Death Lotus off on the team there. Oh my goodness, Shunpo's in for yet another kill, but it gets taken out by Maokai on the side. Unfortunately, Bud 7 can't quite do damage to the rest of this team. But he can potentially clear out these minion waves. Hook actually goes through and he's going to get taken out by Mad Hax. Once again, Bubble actually out of the Hurricane. It's not going to land onto Rook there. Looks like Blue is in a position to just close it up right here. Pac-Man 77 comes back up and Blue decides to back off as they're all pretty low. These baroned up minions are going straight into the base. They might be able to rotate to mid lane and just use this enormous wave that they have to crush down this tower. Red team's not really in a position right now to actually defend this turret. They've got one Nami up, but they decide to rotate down and instead get their 5th dragon for the double and burn. Comes through on the dragon. Looks like double and burn's gonna be going on. Double and burn is a kind of the best buff, I feel like. And Mapper, I totally could I could totally mock people, but I'm not gonna do that. I save that for my my private games. Alright, so red team now in a position where they've got their top lane inhibitor down. Super Minion's going to be streaming down that lane, so they've got to be careful as to how they move across this map. They can't spend too much time away from the base. I'm Blue pushing towards the bottom lane. Actually gets jumped on by the team here. Blue nowhere near I'm Blue, and he might just go down for free. They need to rotate immediately to mid lane and stop the taking of this mid lane inhibitor. They've got to get there quickly and just go. Go for it. You've got the 4v5. You need to take it immediately. Bud7 auto-attacking through, trying to get as much damage down as he can. Rook gets taken very low. Pac-Man77 gets ulted by Zed here in the middle of the fight. Bud7 just looking for a target. Sandman looks like he's going to be the guy. And Bud7 now returning, focusing DCB, takes him out with the 50 caliber net. Interesting kill there. Walks over a shroom, but he will not care, and he's just going to heal right back up with this Bloodthirster on Runon's Hurricane. Matt Hacks stealing away this red buff here. Baron's not going to be up for a couple more minutes. So Blue cannot, or does not have any other objectives on the map besides these turrets. Looks like they actually lose their Nexus turret to a little bit of aggression. Nunu opting to Blood Boil a caster minion before he goes back to base, so it does some additional damage. So yeah, red team just in a super tight spot here. There's not much that they can really do to defend their base. They've got no Nexus turrets left. Mad Hacks is still on the split push game, and he's super threatening at the moment. Bud7 wants to try to kill him, but honestly, with that GA, it's super dangerous. Even if he's able to cleanse through that ultimate. Sandman is the man, gets caught out by the rest of red team and will go down here. Rook is looking to try to backdoor the game. He doesn't have a lot of AD, but he does have a Lich Bane he's trying to use to just Peke his way straight into a bubble where he will die instantly and give up 300 gold. Alright, so red team still on the defensive here. They're trying to defend at least long enough to get these inhibitors back online and stop these super minions in lane. Blue team's kind of getting antsy on how they want to close out the game. Rather than just grouping up like civilized human beings, they've decided to stream in one at a time and sacrifice them until red team hits their kill limit and shuts down. Ulti comes through on Pac-Man from Pac-Man777 straight onto Matt Hacks, which instantly pops his GA. He goes back in for the fight onto Pac-Man. Pac-Man's just a little bit too tanky though. The Shroom will finish him though, and it might pick up 2 kills here. They go very low, and it's going to be the lock of the Iron Solari that keeps them both alive. Oh my goodness. Red team slowly making a comeback. It's not impossible, it's just very, 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 very unlikely. But I believe. Caitlyn has sold the Rudon's Hurricane, opted to pick up a crit optimizing attack speed item and a Last Whisper to help cut through these tanks a bit better. The only real threat on the enemy team for Caitlyn is that Zed. He does an enormous amount of damage. Look at his build, he's got that IE, so if he crits even one time during that death mark process, his target will pretty much just fall over. Blue team now looking for a way to try to close out this game. They notice that Baron is up and they might be going for it here. Red team might be looking for the dragon pretty soon though, because they know that they can't afford to get another burn and double going through on their team. Blue team starts the Baron in Vision of Red. Ninebreaker actually gets chunked very low by this Teemo. I'm Blue goes into the fight. Bud7 hits a Mushroom on the way in. Ninebreaker actually is going to burn down from Ignite. Bud7 actually has to kite backwards here. Mad Hacks actually gets taken out. Can he rejoin the fight and get some good damage in? It looks like Bud7's not going to be able to get there. Has to kite backwards out of the fight because Pac-Man was not with the team quite yet. Pac-Man forced to just Vault Breaker away there. Hook actually comes through, lands on Bud7, and that looks like it's going to be the game, friends. Blue team now just walking it in towards the base. Hook goes down onto Vi, but she's just so tanky that it really doesn't matter all that much. Looks like blue team victory here. Whew! Alright guys. I'm going for 4 games today in terms of actual casting. But what I'd like to do right now is give my voice a slight break and have a little intermission.